Friend, Shabbat Shalom, and greetings to you all. I see the Terror Fellowship in Gaza has been given a few days to release everyone, or else. Get ready for the or else, because I do not anticipate the hostages being free that quickly, and perhaps it is time for or else. Now, this week is what can be considered a minor holiday, although maybe it's not really a holiday. You don't get time off work, but it was a day set aside for a special honor. It's Tu B'Shvat, which simply means 15th of the month of Shvat, and it's the new year of the trees. Kind of like a Hebrew Arbor Day on steroids. Next year it'll be on Groundhog Day, which may make it a lot more fun. Now, trees are so important. While they do many things, the five major things that trees do for you are they improve your air quality. They're known as the lungs of the earth. They absorb pollutants and filter contaminants. They produce oxygen, without which we would die. Second, they improve water quality and reduce erosion and flooding. It's that leaf canopy that catches the water before it can hit and erode the ground. They temper climate, which used to be a bit of a hot topic. That is, they lower air temperature and humidity, and the evaporation of water from trees has an air conditioning effect. Now, there was actually a study, as there always is, and the study showed that trees in parking lots can reduce asphalt temperatures by 36 degrees and car interiors by 47 degrees. Now, I didn't need a study to know that no trees in a parking lot makes them hotter. And I know I always try and park by a tree for the shade, as do, I'm sure, all of you. Now, the other thing is they conserve energy. This is the fourth thing about them. Well-placed residential trees shade the home in summer, which is why you often find deciduous trees by homes. They cool the house in the summer, and when the leaves fall off for the winter, they don't block the sun. And finally, and probably most important, they're a natural habitat for birds and animals. Trees promote a healthier ecosystem, and they provide shelter and food. And what's more important than that? Lemon tree, very pretty, and the lemon flower was sweet, but the fruit of the poor lemon is impossible to eat. Now, yay, trees, they deserve a holiday, and this is the holiday for the trees. So what is it? Well, it's one of the four New Years referred to in the Mishnah. And they're the first of Nisan, the first day of the year, considered the New Year for kings and festivals. The first of Elul, New Year for the animals. The first of Tishrei, New Year for years, that is Rosh Hashanah. And the fourth is the 15th of Shvat, New Year for the trees, which is this one. Now notice, three are on the first, which are new moons. One's on the 15th, a full moon. And you have one on each of the two equinoxes, and the other two are not connected in the same kind of fashion. Now, personally, I don't think those are the four New Years that are talked about in the Talmud. I think two of them are right, the two equinoxes. But I think the other two are really the two solstices, the four of which are talked about in the Talmud. And I think those are really the four New Years that they're making reference to. And I don't have any comment on what each of these is supposedly for. And of course, there's also Happy Valentine's Day for this week to all, the non-Jewish festival of love and chocolate. Now, I tease about chocolate and all, but it's a day celebrating love, and any day that celebrates love is A-OK in my books. Well, I'm in the mood for love. Simply because you're near me. Funny, but when you're near me, I'm in the mood for love. Now, Valentine's Day is an ancient celebration. It's not always been associated with love, but it has become a worldwide celebration of love. And you know that everywhere in the world, people come together on this day to celebrate love. Just as we come together as a like-minded group, collective consciousness of seekers showing faith, any and all faith, love, any and all love. As we come together as a community, a true Havura, fellowship, As we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes, unites us all in this community house of spirit, Bethroth, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. And even though together, we're individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her or their own way. So once again, go ahead, invite everybody you know, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, or spiritually, any way at all, to gather and share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yahad. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yahad. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. Because we support each other in this community. So let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is you honoring, the whole world by setting aside some sacred time in your own sacred space. We converse with whatever you happen to believe in, because we all do believe in something, and we all have little discussions with God, or whatever you want to call it. It's a part of your intention, your kavanah that you put out to the universe. It's your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you control, of what you can correct. It's your intention that sets in motion all the things that occur in your lives, my friends. It's goodwill, it's energy, it's light that we send to healing for whoever you know that needs it, healing and renewal for everyone. Because it floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know, and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them, call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets, it's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. It is the tikkun olam that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. And a part of the healing of the world is when we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. They don't have to be sick, although it is considered the prayer for the sick. But it's for those in our hearts and our minds. So let's all send energy out for the people in need everywhere. Special thoughts and prayers for those in need of assistance. Special prayers for our dear friend Jack on the loss of his father Sal. Baruch Dayan Ha'amet, may his memory be for a blessing. We pray for those who need prayer. We don't have to know them, because we want health, recovery, good life for everybody around us. So let's continue to send healing energy for the hostages still held, still languishing in the pit of despair. Let's demand they all be free. For all of those closer to us, for Leora, for Alan, Roseanne, and Charles, for Miriam, for Carson, for the Calosaurus, for Amin, Gabby, Trevor, and Jess, for the Builder and Snoopy, for little Bonnie, for Sabrina and Dave, for Maria, Paul, for Pam and Lucy and Marlu, for Shelley and Winston, Ainura, for Alana, Fern and Johnny and Kathleen, for Mina, for Carla, for dear John and Maria, for Gloria and Doria, for Connie, for Ronnie, for Tally and Mayim, for Nina and Ever Happy Danny, for all those suffering and in need. Let's not forget to include all the familiars of our lives, all of our sacred animal friends everywhere, for everybody you know, for the whole world, for the bee. Friends, it is so important that we do this. We must also pray for the homeless people, and it's a growing number of homeless people. Right now, enduring snow and cold, they're alone physically, spiritually, without any shelter from the storm. We must keep them in our hearts and our minds. It is the kindness, the healing wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never does die. Me, Shabara, Avotenu, Makor HaBracha, Limotenu, may the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say Amen. Misha Baruch, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as he has healed before. Misha Baruch, may he who blessed, because all healing's a blessing. So let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now this week we meet up again with Moses' father-in-law as we read Yitro, Jethro, one of the very few parshas named for a non-Hebrew. Now that he was the Midian priest who introduced Moses to God. There's a reunion with Moses' family, his wife, his children. But they actually might as well not exist. They play no role in the story. And we actually never get to know them. Now, I have said, and I'm not afraid to point out where things make no sense or are definitely out of historical order. We have that, where Jethro teaches Moses to put a system of judges in place. Now, it is actually one which will be used for 1,000 years, but it has to come later. There were no laws yet. There was nothing yet to judge. The 3 months from when they left Egypt. Now, this week is one of the most exciting events in the history of man. Unlike the Super Bowl, which did not live up to its name and was far from super, in fact, over by the half, this event still reverberates 3,500 years after its occurrence. We're about to take part in the only event in the history of the world of its kind, the disclosure of the laws for living life, broken into 3 simple sections. Because this was the first and only what we deem to be a religious revelation. Not to one, like with Christianity, Islam, and Buddhism, but disclosed to the myriad of over 600,000 standing on the mountain. This is the Great Epiphany, and those 3 sections are treatment of universal powers or God, treatment of our roots and souls, treatment of fellow sojourners on this planet. It's simple. Now the Parsha opens with one of those rare insights into Moses as a human, with the relationships we all have, parent, teacher, advisor, wife, family. While it follows the convention of taking its name from the opening words, its name does not do it justice. Exodus 18:5. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, and his sons and his wife came to Moses to the wilderness in which he was camping, at the mountain of God. Okay, so we find out Jethro arrives with Moses' wife and sons. But only Moses' meeting with Jethro is described. There's nothing about his reunion with his family. And this is about all we actually ever find out about Moses, the man. His father-in-law heads home as Moses' family fades into the backdrop. They have nothing to do with this. Why, my friends, does the Torah announce the arrival of Moses' wife and children, but not describe a personal meeting scene between them and Moses? In Moses' case, the family episodes are very few. His mother and his sister protect him as a baby. His wife has a confrontation with him at the inn on the way to Egypt. Aaron and Miriam criticize his Cushite wife and are rebuked by God. But the rest of Moses' family life is personal. Moses' role is not that of a regular individual. He is a representation of something far greater, which is perhaps one of the reasons we never learn his name in the book of names. Exodus 19:1. In the 3rd month after the exodus of the children of Israel from the land of Egypt, on this day they came to the wilderness of Sinai. So much of life centers on those 5 W's we all learned about as kids. We know the who. Now we know the when and the where. The people have reached the mountain of God. Horeb, Sinai, has a different name. They do not know it, but they're going to be there for a while. And Moses had gone up to God. Now this is where the Septuagint, which is one of the other texts, is probably more correct because it reads up to the mountain of God, which fits better with the words that follow, and the Lord called to him from the mountain. So instead of it simply saying had gone up to God, up to the mountain of God does make more sense. Now we're going to get a glimpse of what is to be. And that's all about conditional love, acceptance, recognition, which still engulfs many of our lives. Exodus 19:5. And now, if you will listen to my voice and observe my covenant, then you will be a treasure to me out of all the peoples, because all the earth is mine. If then. And we still treat so much as if then. Now that's the why. And if we work at it, we can drop the conditions and learn to just be accepting of all as they are. Now we're at the climax. We've reached the moment of the delivery of the Decalogue. God speaks the words of the Ten Commandments aloud directly to the people assembled. Never before or since has there been such a public revelation like this. But still, it is different. Exodus 19:16. It was on the third day when it was morning, and it was thunders and lightning and a heavy cloud on the mountain, the sound of a horn very strong, and the entire people that was in the camp trembled. Thunder on the mountain, there's fire on the moon, there's a rocks in the alley, and the sun'll be here soon. 2 days the day, gonna grab my trombone and blow. Well, there's hot stuff here, and it's everywhere I go. Now we're told the mountain shakes and quivers, fire engulfs its summit. Seems like the ultimate climax. But maybe instead it is the denouement, the wrapping up. The Ten Commandments, which in Hebrew are called the 10 words, Asheret HaDibrot, is the wind-up because they're the rules for life and living. Everything after this is filler, just extra law. Now this blast of the horns is of celestial origin, probably blown by a member of God's angelic entourage to announce the awe-inspiring descent of God. Words, devarim, were always imagined in biblical Hebrew to be virtually palpable entities which can be put before the people. They have powerful consequences from the moment they are spoken. They have weight. They have substance to them. And Israel's relations with its God are conceived in the legal terms of that world, right, which was a different world than ours. Notice this because it changes in Deuteronomy. A different message will be given. They say those who control the present control the past, and those who control the past control the future. Truer words were never spoken. Exodus 21. Vaya deber devarim. And God spoke all these words, saying, I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slaves. Now, I am the Lord's not a commandment, although some people think that's the beginning of them. It's a statement. Who brought you out of the house of bondage. Or, Mitzrayim would have meant a house of constraint. This is the creator of everything. But his introduction to the people is not via creation, but via freedom. This is the calling card of the creator of the universe. This is the most important gift you've been given, freedom, especially from fear. Now, unless you read this in the biblical Hebrew, you can't notice something amazing that's going on. And that's the grammar. See, when God speaks to the people, it's not the plural you that's used in almost every law. Throughout the 10 words, the commands are cast in the second person singular. So the commandments are unique. They are addressed to each person individually. Every time you read them, think them, say them, it is to you, yourself alone. I remember the feeling as these words are said to a multitude individually. Well, we've had our preamble. Now we get the what. You shall have no other gods beside me. You shall make no carved likeness, no image of what is in the heavens above, or what is on the earth below, or what is in the waters beneath the earth. 3 levels. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not acquit whoever takes his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to hallow it. 6 days you shall work, you shall do your tasks, but the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord of ceasing. You shall do no task, you and your son, your daughter, your male slave, your slave girl, your beast, and your sojourner who is within your gates. Honor your father and mother. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your fellow man. You shall not covet your fellow man's house. You shall not covet your fellow man's wife, or his male slave or his slave girl, his ox, his donkey, or anything that your fellow man has. Now, those, of course, are embellished. The Bible loves to embellish, and those are embellished. Carved on the 2 tablets of stone and announced to the people, it would have simply said, no other gods, no images, no broken oaths. Remember the ceasing, the Sabbath. Honor mother and father. No murder, no adultery, no stealing, no false witness, no coveting. So what do they mean? Why are they even significant in our lives? Now, if you knew nothing else, this is truly all you really need to know from the Torah. Just one little section. So no other gods. No other gods is about honoring the one source of everything within you. Your relationship to your God is a personal thing because God lives within. Inspiration and goodness come from many sources, but they all stem from the one. No image. As in the heavens above, the earth below, the waters beneath the earth, these are the 3 realms of the biblical world picture of creation, each duly registered in that creation story. It's easy to put faith in a substitute, especially since we have difficulty having faith in something that cannot be seen and has no form. But we're wise enough to know that only a personal, direct relationship with God has any reality. Everything is merely a sign along the road. Sometimes signs are mistaken for being it. This is the time you might want to ask, what have you been putting your faith in? Do not take the Lord's name in vain. It's about falsehood. It's not about swearing. It's about swearing false oaths. And for many, this is the hardest to do because the essence of the commandment is in silence. All power stems from thoughts and then words. The Gospel of John begins, in the beginning was the Word. Everything is connected. Everything is God. So you cannot say something negative about anyone or anything because it takes away from the essence of God within. This is about knowing when to keep your mouth shut. Remembering the Sabbath. Well, the Sabbath is the ceasing. It's a day for appreciation of the world around you. Stop and enjoy the journey. Enjoy your surroundings. Recharge, regenerate, appreciate. Because keeping only the destination in mind causes you to miss so much of what life offers. This is the lesson of non-linear time, kairos time, not chronos time. We're chronological beings. It is the subjective time, where minutes can seem like hours and days like minutes. This is the time that we find in the rhythm of nature with cycles and events. This is the time we are to remember. Honor your mother and father. It's about honoring the roots of where you come from. See, you're a product of your roots. So in honoring where you come from, you're actually honoring yourself. And the mother and father also represent the ideals of perfection of male and female. And in honoring that, we can return to that. Our lives are perfect, but are influenced by the people and events that we encounter. Do not murder. Well, there's the great mistranslation in the King James Bible, which listed its kill. Friends, the original decree banned taking a life by intention. Murder destroys beauty and harmony, and everything is created in beauty and harmony. It can and most often is about the murder of spirit. When you murder spirit, you're polluting your own essence. This is the heart of the matter. A beating heart controls all our organs, and if you murder anything, it can pollute everything. The things we murder the most are the spirits of ourselves and of others. Have you murdered your spirit or the spirit of another? This can be as simple as calling someone stupid or doing anything to diminish them, because in so doing, you destroy the great heart. No adultery. The essence of adultery lies in our emotions, so this is about our feelings. You must not adulterate or contaminate your spiritual life through emotional reaction or letting your ego get out of control. Do not steal. Now, just as the 7th commandment pointed to our emotional side, the 8th points to our intellectual side. When we steal, we violate the energy of a balanced relationship. We upset equilibrium. It can be as simple as stealing an apple from a grocery store by eating it as you shop, stealing time at work, making personal calls. Perhaps you've taken the words of others as your own. If we do this, we carry that imbalance with us, and that affects our thoughts. No false witness. Well, this is an attack on the foundation we stand on, the false ego to beware of. This commandment is saying, do not lie, either against someone else or yourself. Lies create their own momentum. They get you trapped by them until there is no escape. A foundation built on falseness will ultimately collapse. It's the story of the boy who cried wolf, and it's the lashon hara, the evil speech. Finally, do not covet. Now, the Hebrew word amad has a range of meaning from yearn for to desire to, lust after to want. Coveting is longing for. And the distance between coveting and taking can be extremely narrow. When you covet, you no longer appreciate your own things. This diminishes your own spark of humanity because you're saying yours isn't good enough. You prefer what someone else has. You prefer their life to your own. This is denial and negation of who you are and what you have created. For everything in our lives is the result of our own energy and our own only. When we break these, any of these, we break our world. And boy, is it broken. Broken counters, broken saws, broken buckles, broken laws, broken bodies, broken bones, broken voices on broken phones. Take a deep breath, feel like you're choking. Everything is broken, and it can sure feel that way, my friends. Yes, the world is sacred, but so's everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, an end to terror and hatred. Remember, we're a community. We learn together. We celebrate with each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's all send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them, especially now. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our Kavana, cause and effect. It's all linked. You always have time to forgive and to be forgiven, because you have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness, but do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So keep on dreaming, my friends. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love, because it's always in front of you. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Love with the heart. We're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone. Someone is always there for you, whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief. Never accept shame as a natural state, because whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together. We learn together. We help each other, because we're each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives. So find them. Tell them what they mean. You are never alone on your journey. You always have the voice of God speaking to you, talking to you. And remember your connection to God and all that God's created in body and soul and spirit and mind. It's a part of you. It's a part of me. It's a part of all of us forever. So listen to that voice. He's talking to you and just you, because God loves you. So celebrate love. There is no finer thing to celebrate. It transcends all. There is just something about it. Something in the way she moves. Attracts me like no other lover. something in the way she woos me. I don't want to leave her now. You know I believe in hell. Celebrate love, my friends, the only real law that you need. Well, thank you for joining me. Have a great week. I'll see you all soon. I hope you all continue to celebrate the miracles of life. Shabbat Shalom. And blessings to you all. Take care.